So, I am almost done with my illuminated letter box. I have my letter. It's looking pretty good. It has the frame, the S, the background, and all four sides. I have a slab of clay rolled out. I have my ruler, my scoring tool, my carving tool, my cutting tool, and my rib, because of course, I've already done this. We are ribbing our clay to compress. This is going to stop any cracks from forming in our clay. It's also going to make it nicer. I also have my slip. So, I'm going to make sure everything is relatively straight. Just look at it. You should be good. I'm going to put my box on top of my slab. I'm going to make sure that when I do all of this, that there is no place where you can see it overlapping. So I'm going to make sure it is on the edge. I always try and leave as much space as possible. And you know what? Nobody is perfect. So what we're going to do is we are going to, because our box is not going to be perfect no matter how much we try. If you see anything that's really off, fix it. I am going around and I am tracing a line out all over the outside of my box onto my slab. I'm going to pick it up, put my box down. So the reason why I traced the line is because it's going to be hard to just cut all the way around and keep your tool straight up and down. See, your tool has an edge. You can look at it. And you can see how there is a difference between where the knife blade is and the thickness of the tool. So I wouldn't be able to cut this without having my knife tilted like this. And if you tilt your knife like this, the bottom is going to be cut at an angle and it's going to be a disaster. So we don't want to do that. We want to keep it nice and straight. So on here, gonna line this up, and I'm gonna make this as, like, look, my line is not perfectly straight. I really do like cutting things that are supposed to be straight with a ruler, so if it's a little off, err on the side of making it a little bit bigger, and get the scraps off as fast as possible. Again, I always want you guys to know this. Look at how much moisture my project is losing because it's on the slab mat. Ooh, this is really off, so I'm just going to cut it by hand. And I'm going to make sure I keep my tool straight up and down. If it's really off, it's okay to cut by hand. The longer you keep your stuff on the slab mat, the more it is going to dry out. I'm not too worried about the bottom of my project drying out because I'm almost done. And again, if it's too crooked to cut with a ruler, cut it by hand. Just be really careful. Now I'm going to get rid of this slab mat. I'm going to take this, put it to the side. Take everything off of my slab mat. See how my tray is the smallest tray I can possibly fit anything on? That's also really important while you're working. You want to make sure that you are being really careful to not trap a lot of air in your plastic bags. A lot of you guys grab the biggest tray you can. It's not a great idea because you might think you have a lot of space, but you're also trapping a lot of air, and the longer you work on your project, the faster it's going to dry out, because every day you're just adding new air in there. So I am just scoring this aggressively. You guys know how aggressively I score stuff. I'm scoring in 2 directions. This is the part that's drier. It's had a longer time to like hang out. So I'm gonna put the slip on the side that's dry. Well, drier. That's getting really stiff. That way it gets like all happy again. Because remember, we're gonna have to do a magic trick here. We have to put a coil on the inside of this. Because we want our box to open up. We don't want it to just be a box that doesn't open. We want to put stuff in it. I hope you want to put stuff in it. So I'm going to blob on as much slip as I can. Then I'm going to score it again. And then I'm going to score this. In 2 directions. Really aggressively score. Don't leave big gaps. Make sure you are scoring. And then make sure that both of them are going in the same direction. Hit it a little. And that's it. That is how to put the bottom on your box.